Is Iran really prepared to limit its nuclear program? Can America truly convince Iran that its security is not under threat? American bases are scattered throughout the region. Both sides stand on the brink of a dangerous war. America is now not just dealing with Iran, but also with two major powers. Iran says its nuclear program is a matter of its sovereignty, and it cannot end it. America says it will not allow an atomic bomb to be built and wants permanent guarantees. Greetings to everyone. Iran and America both stand on the brink of a dangerous war. America is present in the Middle East with its full military might. There are 2 aircraft carriers, more than 150 fighter jets, and the latest stealth bombers. F-22 Raptors are there. On the other side, Iran has decided this time that it will not negotiate with America without safeguarding its independence, sovereignty, and national rights. The Iranian leadership's message is clear. Either honorable negotiations or, if the path of talks closes, prepare for war. Tang Ahmad, Bazong Ahmad. In this tense situation, the third round of talks in Geneva continued until late Thursday night, and now technical committee-level negotiations are scheduled in Vienna on Monday. The whole world's eyes are on these talks because their outcome could either establish peace in the Middle East or open the door to a devastating war whose victim will be the entire world's economy. In this extremely delicate situation, China and Russia have openly declared support for Iran, making the international balance even more complicated. And decision-making for America is becoming increasingly difficult. Late on Thursday, February 26th, lights stayed on at the Omani ambassador's residence in Geneva, where the third round of talks took place. They didn't end in just 45 minutes, as initial reports claimed. In reality, the opposite. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and American Representative Steve Witkoff did not sit face-to-face, but exchanged messages through Omani mediators. Omani Foreign Minister Badr al-Busaidi himself released pictures of meetings with Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and with the Iranian delegation led by Araghchi. These talks continued continuously for about 3 hours, followed by another 2 hours of discussions. When the talks ended, the night had passed, and Geneva's streets were deserted, but diplomatic circles were buzzing. Everyone was listening carefully. The Omani foreign minister wrote on social media that creative ideas were exchanged in Geneva, and he expects further progress. Global media took this statement positively. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi himself admitted that good progress was made in the talks and called this moment a historic opportunity. An extraordinary agreement could be possible. But what does this progress mean? How should it be understood? And what is the real issue? The core dispute is Iran's nuclear program. America's stance is very strict, showing no flexibility. According to detailed reports from Western sources, Washington's demand is that Iran completely dismantle its 3 main nuclear installations, Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan. In addition, Iran should hand over its various levels of enriched uranium, 20%, etc., up to 60%, totaling thousands of kilograms, to America or some Gulf-allied country. America also wants this deal to be indefinite, no sunset clause, so Iran is permanently deprived of high-level enrichment capabilities. In fact, they say Iran should dismantle all its enrichment facilities. On the other hand, Iran has clearly refused to send enriched uranium abroad. Iran's position is clear. It has the right to enrichment on its own soil under the NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. However, some flexibility is visible in Iran's stance, which is a ray of hope. Araghchi clarified that Iran will never build nuclear weapons, and there is Khamenei's fatwa against it. Ali Shamkhani, a senior advisor to Khamenei, also said that if the real issue is Iran's atomic bomb and Iran doesn't want to build one anyway, then an agreement is possible. Iran has proposed freezing enrichment at 3.67%, far below weapons grade, which it can do under pressure to 1%. These are still proposals under discussion. Iran is ready for strict IAEA monitoring and even allowing inspections of its military bases. Iran can place its 400-kilogram stock of 60% enriched uranium under international monitoring for use in research reactors, which cannot be used for weapons. It may want this done in its own country, with external inspectors conducting oversight. But nothing is clear yet. These talks will continue on Monday in Vienna at the technical level. According to Iranian media, this time nuclear experts, legal experts, and financial advisors will join. The Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghiai said the Iranian delegation is fully prepared on technical nuclear issues and sanctions relief, showing seriousness for fruitful talks. These technical talks are extremely important because they will determine whether the gap between both sides can be narrowed. From expert-level talks, it will become clear whether Iran is truly ready to limit its nuclear program and whether America can truly assure Iran that its security is not threatened. Additionally, two key issues are noteworthy: when and how will America lift sanctions on Iran? No announcement yet from the American side. Even if a deal is reached, who will guarantee that America won't back out again, as it did 3 years after the JCPOA? But even after reaching this technical level, the real threat hasn't been averted. America has deployed its military in the region and extended it to a high level. 2 aircraft carriers, more than 150 fighter jets, F-35 stealth bombers, B-2 bombers, air refueling tankers, AWACS spy planes are present. U.S. CENTCOM has raised the alert level to the highest for all its military bases in the region. President Trump has stated that in the coming 10 days, it will become clear whether a deal is possible or not. And if talks fail, the next phase will begin, meaning America will attack Iran. According to the New York Times, Trump is considering limited strikes to pressure Iran. According to Pentagon sources, plans are ready to target Iran's nuclear facilities and military sites. But Iran has already declared that an attack on Iran will be considered full-scale war. In this situation, China and Russia have openly declared support for Iran, which is a major turning point in global politics. Yesterday, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson stated that China supports the Iranian government and people and opposes the use or threat of force in international relations. They said China, as a responsible major power, will continue to play its role. This statement came when asked if China would support Iran alongside Russia if America attacks. The Chinese spokesperson didn't answer directly, but the overall tone clearly indicated China would strongly oppose any American military action against Iran. China usually gives vague statements, but here it's clear they will stand with Iran if America attacks. The manner isn't fully open yet, but indications are that Iran is receiving advanced electronic warfare technology from China. Recently, Iran received CM-302 cruise missiles capable of destroying ships. Russia is not behind. Last week, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov spoke with the Iranian Foreign Minister on the phone and expressed Moscow's support for a political and diplomatic solution while respecting Iran's legitimate rights. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko said Russia has always supported Iran's right to peaceful nuclear technology and will continue to do so. Russian President Vladimir Putin is closely monitoring the issue. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Russia views any military action against Iran as a cause of instability in the region and will further strengthen its strategic relations with Iran. This indirectly points to defense ties. Amid these talks and American military deployment, another important factor is the Strait of Hormuz. This strait is only 33 kilometers, 21 miles, wide. Under international law, it falls in Iran's and Oman's territorial waters. This geographical reality gives Iran powerful leverage with no answer. About 20% of the world's oil, around 20 million barrels daily, passes through the Strait of Hormuz, mainly to Asian markets including China, India, Japan, and South Korea. On February 17th, Iran's Revolutionary Guards conducted military exercises in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian media released videos of high-speed attack boats firing missiles. During this, the strait was temporarily closed, sending a clear message: Iran can close the strait whenever it wants. This was an open warning to America. Immediately after the exercise, oil prices rose from $78 to $85 per barrel. Lloyd's of London tripled insurance premiums for ships passing through the area. Shipping companies faced a tough choice: pay higher premiums or take a 6,000 nautical mile detour adding 15 days and up to $300,000 in extra costs. If Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, oil prices could exceed $120 per barrel, and some estimates say even $150. This means petrol prices in America could reach $6 to $8 per gallon. Industrial production in China, India, Japan, and South Korea would be severely affected, and Europe could face an energy shortage. This would not just be economic pressure, but economic warfare targeting civilian populations, for which America would be responsible. Iran has another strength: its proxy network. American intelligence noted an unusual increase in secret communications between Iran's Quds Force headquarters and its regional proxies during the Geneva talks, indicating internal preparations and planning. According to old estimates, Hezbollah in Lebanon has about 150,000 rockets and missiles. In Yemen, the Houthis proved they can disrupt Red Sea shipping for months despite 52 days of American bombing. In Iraq, Shia militias, including those in Iraqi security forces, could join with access to American bases. Simultaneous multi-front attacks, Iraqi rockets on American bases, Saudi oil infrastructure drone attacks, Hezbollah strikes on northern Israel, Houthi actions in Bab al-Mandab, could turn into asymmetrical warfare that devastates America. Iran's strategy is not to defeat the enemy, but to make the cost of victory unbearable for it. Because America's military might is the world's top, and Iran is perhaps 40 times weaker in comparison. In this entire situation, Israel's role is the most complicated and dangerous. On February 25th, one day before the Geneva talks, Israeli planes attacked a convoy near Damascus, reportedly killing Iranian officials. The Pentagon confirmed Israel did not inform America in advance. This shows unusual lack of coordination in military operations between America and Israel. Normally, there is minute-by-minute coordination. Israel's F-35s operate in the same airspace as America, using its satellite systems. But this time, no prior information. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu knows Trump's psychology. Trump wants to be seen as a deal-maker who solves problems his predecessors couldn't. This is dangerous for Netanyahu. What if Trump makes a limited deal with Iran, freezing enrichment for a few years but keeping Iran's infrastructure intact? This would be unacceptable for Netanyahu. Israel's strategic view is that Iran's nuclear capability must be completely eliminated, no partial measures, full dismantlement of enrichment infrastructure. That's why Israel attacks in Damascus, kills Iranian officials, and when Iran retaliates, America gets dragged into the tension. Now the question is, how likely is war, and where are the paths to peace? Arachi told India yesterday that no one will win. This would be a devastating war. American bases are scattered across the region, so the whole region would be involved. This is a very dangerous and frightening situation. An Omani analyst, Khalfan al-Tuki, warned that any war would be more devastating than last June's 12-day war, with grave consequences not just for Iran but the entire region and global economy. But is war inevitable? Arab analyst Abdulaziz al-Shaibani believes both sides are aware of the heavy cost of military escalation and prefer resolving tensions through talks. According to him, the possibility of full-scale war is low. On the other hand, analysts like Amir Silas say American military deployment indicates Washington is not just bluffing. The possibility of attack is very high. Trump faces a difficult choice. Some circles in Washington pressure him that any deal weaker than 2015 is unacceptable. On the other hand, war's consequences are dangerous. Their Abu Ras says Washington is not politically prepared for war and lacks legal justification. But with such large deployments, Trump has only two paths: either attack or make a deal he can present as success to the American public. And likely, the debate is stuck here. China and Russia's statements have complicated the situation further. America is now not just dealing with Iran, but two major powers. If America attacks Iran, what will China and Russia's response be? Will they limit to statements or take action? They may not jump into war themselves, as many experts say, but provide full support to Iran, technologically, via satellites, cyber warfare, electronic warfare tech. The Geneva talks that continued last night didn't decide war or peace, but kept the door of negotiations open. Monday will be decisive. Technical committees will meet in Vienna. Nuclear experts will sit face-to-face. Legal and economic advisors will finalize details. China and Russia's statements will have an impact, and America will have to decide whether to give diplomacy a chance or use force and drag the whole world into it. Arachi said threats are not a way to negotiate. Witkoff says the same. Both sides are firm on their red lines. Iran says its nuclear program is a matter of sovereignty and cannot be ended. America says it won't allow an atomic bomb and wants permanent guarantees. If mutual mistrust reduces a bit here, a deal is possible. And if Israel's role diminishes, then too. In between is the 33 km wide Strait of Hormuz through which 20% of world oil passes. In between are Lebanon's 150,000 Hezbollah rockets and missiles. In between are Yemen's Houthis, who disrupted the Red Sea for 52 days. In between are Iraq's Shia militias present alongside American forces who can attack. And now, between Iran and America, China and Russia have also entered, openly declaring support for Iran and secretly transferring much electronic warfare technology. What happens in Vienna on Monday will decide whether peace prevails in the Middle East or a new war begins. And this war's fire could scorch not just Iran and America, but the whole world. If America thinks attacking Iran is inevitable, then for Iran too, this is the best time for a major defensive war. After this war, Iran will come out of America's blackmail. Thank you. With your permission, Kuda Hafiz.